And that's all from us in Abuja. Back to you, Ijoma, in Lagos.
Thanks a lot, Yemisi. And now let's cross over to our business studios, that is. Here's Emana Amawe.
Thank you, Joman. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria and the Bankers Committee have resolved to raise the volume of foreign exchange sold to Bureau de Change operators from $30,000 to $50,000. Briefing journalists after the Bankers Committee meeting at the CBN headquarters in Abuja, the Acting Director, Corporate Communications of the CBN, Mr. Isaac Okorafo, says the increase is to provide enough foreign exchange in the country for people who have need of it.
The Bankers Committee has decided that with CBN to raise the volume of cash sold to BDCs to 50,000, by the maximum of $50,000. The essence, the reason that underpins this decision is to ensure that, especially now that people are going back to school, to ensure that people get enough for school fees, student maintenance allowance, and of course for PTA and BTA. And it was also emphasized that any BDC that tries to circumvent this gesture will be severely punished. It is not a policy reversal. During an economic crisis, policymakers must begin to watch policies and instruments and must be able to change or tweak them.
In the meantime, the Naira appreciated against 2 of the 3 currencies at the interbank spot market on Tuesday, following that announcement of the central bank to increase forex sales to Bureau de Change operators in the country. The local unit firmed further by 1.16% to 313.65 against the dollar and 0.36% to 416.80 against the British pound. It, however, weakened by 0.73% to 366.05 against the euro. On the other hand, at the parallel market, the local currency strengthened by 0.98% to 505 against the British pound, while it depreciated by 0.25 to 394 to the dollar and 0.46% to 437 to the euro. And bullish sentiments continued on the Nigerian equities market today following sustained interest in large cap stocks. Here is Millicent Nwoka with a trading report.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. I am Millicent Nwoka. Equities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange rose further by 0.27% at the close of today's session, while the market capitalization increased by about 20 billion naira amid cautious trading by investors. Tuesday's transaction also saw a total of 235.5 million shares change hands in 3,512 deals for over 2.22 billion naira. Now, Livestock Feeds, Sterling Bank and Total topped the lead from a list of 15 prize gainers, while Champion Breweries, Nigeria Police Microfinance Bank and Africa Prudential emerged as the major losers, apart from 15 others on that category. Now, the top 3 most actively traded stocks were Zenith Bank, Access Bank and UBA. And that ends the Stock Market Report. I'm Millicent Nwoka.
Thank you, Millicent. And the Debt Management Office will be offering for sale sovereign debt to the tune of 111 billion naira at the primary market auction on Wednesday, August the 17th. The bonds are in 3 tranches. 40 billion naira, which is a 5-year reopening, will be auctioned at a coupon of 14.5% and will mature in July 2021. For the 30 billion naira bond maturing in January 2026, the coupon is 12.5%, and for the bond maturing in March 2036, amount on offer is 40 billion naira with a coupon of 12.4%. The Debt Management Office has the obligation of raising funds for the federal government to finance its budget deficit and infrastructure projects. At the close of trading on Monday, activities at the secondary markets were sluggish. Ahead of the primary auction by the DMO, the value of total transactions stood at 1.9 billion naira. Major global stocks closed lower across the board except the Kenyan bourse as investors await the minutes from the U.S. Federal Reserve's July meeting. Here are the closing figures. And that's it on Business News Tonight. Many thanks for staying with us. I'm Emana Amawe. Ijoma.
Thanks a lot, Emana. Preventing diabetes in Nigeria requires a national policy through the combined effort of health experts, the government and the general public. Now, these are the views of participants at the 3rd Podiatry and Diabetes Foot Care event organized by Rainbow Specialist Medical Center in Lagos. The forum seeks to create awareness on the dangers and treatment of diabetic foot disorder.
Is the 3rd annual Podiatry and Diabetes Foot Care Workshop in Lagos, organized by Rainbow Specialist Medical Center in partnership with the World Diabetes Foundation and the Podiatry Institute USA. Health practitioners who specialize in managing people living with diabetes are here to learn more on its treatment, particularly diabetic foot care.
Till date, 11 hospitals from all cadres, primary healthcare, secondary healthcare and tertiary healthcare, state-owned, federal-owned, private hospitals and non-profit health institutions have benefited from this initiative.
The theme of the event is initiating, implementing and sustaining a national diabetes foot care policy. And the keynote speaker, Mr. Andrew Clark, says diabetic foot disorder must be tackled quickly.
We are all equal in fighting this disorder. We have different qualifications and different skills. I'm not a DVN, although I am in Nigeria on a program. How will it work? It requires money.
What are the expectations going forward?
Right now, we don't have any national policy on diabetes foot care. Patients are presenting very late. And I would also like to mention that diabetes mellitus foot syndrome is preventable. It's preventable to a very large extent through good foot care practice and good sugar control.
One thing that is very obvious and we believe in is that diabetes foot disease and diabetic eye problem are key issues even among the complications of diabetes, that we need separate policies on these ones.
Medical experts here agree that it's time for the federal government of Nigeria to take action by drawing up and implementing a national policy that will make diabetic foot care more accessible and affordable in order to prevent unnecessary deaths from the disease.
The Cross River State government is appealing to federal authorities to resolve issues hindering the dredging of the Calabar waters, which started in 2015. Governor Ben Ayade made the appeal at the Government House in Calabar, the state capital, when the Director General of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Usman, visited him while on a familiarization tour.
Before and during colonial rule, the 38-hectare Calabar port was privately administered and served as an important focus of trade with the outside world for the eastern states and the natural harbor for the northern states of Nigeria. In December 1969, the federal government took over the inadequate port facility and the Nigerian Port Authority became managers. Economic activities at the port have been on the increase, requiring a major upgrade of the facility like dredging and modernization. Contracts awarded in the past to address these challenges have failed to yield desired results. Worried about the state of the project, the managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mrs. Hadiza Usman, is in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, on a 2-day working tour. First, she meets with the state governor, Senator Ben Ayade. For Governor Ayade, the planned upgrade, if successfully executed, will complement the proposed Bakassi Deep Sea Port in the state.
Bakassi Deep Sea Port is actually not a port that will be competing with the existing Nigerian Port Authority. It's actually going to be a competitor, not a competitor, in the sense that basically it's because of its draft of 16 meters, located in a sensitive location to attract major traffic coming from out of Middle and Far East.
Next on the news at 10, Nigeria faced Germany in Wednesday's semi-final of the men's football events in Rio. Former Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise drums up support for the team. That's on sports. Just stay with us.